What I hope is that we can engage in conversation and discourse in a way that understands this is not binary and that appreciates that we are talking about real human beings. We're talking about real fear, not to mention what it means in our own country in terms of long-standing issues with anti-Semitism, which has been on the rise even before this happened, Islamophobia, and
73% of those who voted said they'd prefer somebody other than Biden to run. That's even more, that 63% said they would prefer somebody other than Donald Trump to run. So how does President Biden deal with these questions?
I mean, I know there's still the idea and the hand-wringing of what polls look like a year away from Election Day. And, I'm not a pundit.
You're not concerned about this at all? Concerns about his age?
I'm not. I mean, I think about where the polls were for my race a year before Election Day. I was polling a little over 1%. By Election Day, I ended up winning with...
John, does the president think that Israel's plan to oust Hamas is achievable militarily?
We're not going to, again, characterize or analyze publicly Israeli war plans. They should be the ones speaking to that. Right now, they are focused on putting pressure on Hamas leadership, specifically in Gaza City. And they are pursuing that through military means. And again, we're doing everything we can to help them.
How important is the timeline to that belief that this is achievable? And the reason I ask is because of this polling that shows Americans are very deeply divided on Israel's counterattack. Only 36% said it's very important or extremely important to provide aid. 40% of Americans said the military response has gone too far, and among Democrats, that number is 58%. So is he at all concerned about backsliding in support for this mission among key constituencies of his base?
He understands that there's a lot of complex history here, and he also understands that right now there's an awful lot of strong feelings on all sides about what's going on right now. He appreciates that, but he's not going to develop policy options here for the United States or administer our national security interests, again, according to polling data, which shifts and change. He's going to do it based on principles, protecting our national interests, to include, Jackie, his firm belief that in the promise of a two-state solution and how we can't abandon that.
Will we send American troops into Gaza to get American hostages?
There are no plans to put American troops on the ground in combat in this fight, and we are pursuing a series of steps, largely through negotiations, to get our hostages out.